don't think I can actually do this. No. Okay, let's go back to 100%. There we go.
We are live.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi. Look, I'm
Is that
on
Jeff?
time. Woohoo.
Woohoo, Jeff. Woohoo's on time. Woohoo. Wonders never cease.
Fucking A.
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with you.
It's all right. I can take it.
Welcome to Drawing Nature In.
So is that the subject tonight? Drawing nature in?
That's the name of our podcast.
Okay. Oh, the overall name.
The
Okay.
overall name
Yeah.
of
what's the
our
theme?
company.
What's the theme tonight?
We're going to talk about polarity tonight.
Okay.
The law of polarity.
Okay.
And I'm still doing digital art, as you can see.
I see that.
I am working on this sigil right here, which is the right to privacy. But I'm still annoyed with the paperclay stuff. So
Really?
yeah, I just got bored with it.
Oh,
I mean, I may come back to it, but I just got bored. So I'm just making these pictures that I will print out and use as collage elements.
Okay. I'm going to go upstairs for a moment, but I'm bringing my phone with, and you guys with also.
Okay, well, I think we're gonna do our meditation in a
I
minute.
don't want to miss that.
Okay. Whoops, look, we're in fractal land.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when I don't focus my camera on my artwork and I focus it on the Zoom call, it goes into this like infinity picture, as you can see.
Oh, I see that. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Uh-huh.
See, because I'm using my computer to do art instead of art materials. Where did Woody go? Let me see here. Where did he go?
He was there when I came on board.
Where is he now? He went away. Oh no, there he is. His thing is there. His
I see no image.
his avatar, but his painting is not showing up at the moment. Are you upstairs now?
I'm downstairs. I was up and I came down. I had to get something.
So do you have like is that where you guys live? Is in that building? Or do you live
We
elsewhere?
live on the second floor.
Oh, that's cool. That's amazing.
Well, certainly close. The
Yes.
community. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But there's a enclosed closet and there's an enclosed bathroom laundry room. Otherwise, everything is open and there's no privacy. And I bought materials to enclose the bedroom, and I know exactly where to do it, and it'd be perfect and appropriate and everything. But I just don't have the damn time. So my wife Sophia is a little cranky.
Oh yes, I understand the honey-do list.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
forget it. My honey, nothing ever gets done here at all. So I have to just, whatever. I just adapt to living like a. It's fine. It's actually fine because I'm such a slob artist as it is that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm a total slob artist. In fact, I have to do a huge cleaning because I can't function anymore. It's all taken over, but I haven't done that yet. So.
Okay.
And we have dog hair.
Well, look at that.
Too.
This is your home. So is that a stair going down?
What?
Oh, I was looking at your home there.
Are you looking
it-
at my home? How can you be looking?
Yeah.
at my home?
Well, I don't know. It was somebody else's home then. I don't know.
No,
No,
you're
that's
looking,
mine.
you're looking at Woody's.
Oh,
home.
that's Woody's home.
That's Woody's mother's house.
Okay. Got it.
No, you won't be seeing my home in this lifetime.
Yeah, so this room I'm in is kind of trashed right now.
It wasn't. Yeah. It
Dude,
wasn't
you
that-
don't know trashed, honey. You don't know what trashed is. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's not bad. I've seen worse.
Well, I gotta get my. Okay, so we can have the meditation. I gotta get my my camera tripod or my phone tripod.
Okay, should we go ahead, Woody? Are you ready or
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm ready.
Sorry. I
should I do it?
got for a minute. Yeah, you can go ahead and do it.
All right. Okay, so I just come into the present moment. And you can use the sounds in your vicinity to help you to get centered in the present moment. Just accept all the sounds that are present as part of the present moment. And take some deep breaths, feet flat on the ground and back straight if possible. And then take some breaths in and out. And just focus on your feet on the floor to get grounded. And I'm going to do that heart math where you put your right hand over your heart. You can breathe into your heart. And this is going to help you to communicate through your heart. And as you're breathing into your heart, where underneath your hand, you can try to imagine feelings of love and compassion towards a situation. You can use a situation from the past or present to reactivate those feelings of love and compassion. And now I'm just going to ask the Creator to enter into our hearts and help us to communicate with each other and help us to download any information that we need to be of maximum service to the people of Earth and animals and the Earth itself during this time that we're together and afterward. So be it.
Always nice to do that before we start doing some art here.
So I'm just checking out. The only way I can check in is by switching my camera, but I'm gonna go back to my artwork. So that,
Cool.
and so tonight we're discussing the law of polarity.
Yes.
And whatever else happens to manifest in our conversation.
We go on some tangents a lot sometimes.
And I'm just gonna state, like, this is the sigil that I'm working on tonight, which is it's the inalienable right to privacy. And I'm just doing digital art at the moment, and I'm gonna print it out and make a collage. So here's the sigil itself right here. Just for the record.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna continue working on this painting. It's a painting that goes through all the laws of the Kabbalion, or the Hermetic principles. And so far I only have mentalism painted in there, and I'm going to go in and do the rest of the laws around mentalism, because mentalism is like kind of like the unifying, the all aspect of the thing, or of all the principles. And I'll go ahead and read straight out of the Kabbalion what it says, the brief passage it says of the law of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. The Kabbalion. So, there's a lot of different examples in nature where we see polarity at work, like the seasons on Earth here, going from cold season into, we call it winter. And then we have the transitional season of spring, which brings us into summer, which is the opposite side of that pole here on Earth. You have the cold, extreme cold in winter, and then the hottest part of the year is in summer. And then you have another transitional time that we call fall, which transitions back to winter. So the pendulum swing is at work with our climate here on planet Earth. So that is a pretty good example. I know there's been some confusion with people as far as this law of polarity. There's some people out there who are like, oh, there is no absolute truths, there's only half truths. And so they take that as, oh, that means that morality is subjective and not objective. Well, I would disagree with that, because that's not really how it works. Morality is itself has its own polarity. You have immoral, which is one side of it, or maybe you could even call that evil, is one side of it, or you have moral, which is the understanding and not harming anything. If you're completely moral, then you do not harm other sentient beings. And so I think that anyone who's like trying to make morality subjective, they're confused as to how polarity really works. And they're instead of using the actual polarity, they're switching to a whole nother different dynamic that has its own poles, you know.
You mean like solipsism?
Yeah.
The
or something like
poles
that.
of solipsism?
Right.
I wonder what that would be. The poles of solipsism. That would be like me and me.
I guess it would be me and not me. Because against a solipsist, like everything comes from them, right? Nothing can be learned from the external world. So the opposite of polarity would be everything comes from the external world. Nothing comes from the internal. So
But then that couldn't even exist in solipsism though.
no, it couldn't. So that solipsism is a mental schism where you're stuck on one side of the polar spectrum, and that's not where you want to be necessarily.
Well, but it doesn't exist. It's an intellectual puzzle that this is a big problem that humans have. I believe it's part of the mess up that they made when they were making us. Of course, this is a very controversial idea, but that they somehow isolated our intellect from the rest of our mind. So unfortunately, we have these problems where we get too into our intellect, and solipsism is one of those instances where we are too intellectual. And so the people who are in that are not even in reality. They're in their mind completely.
Right. Well, like it's like too, when you're, and this, I think I brought this when you're playing a game analogy up before, where it's like in the like football, for instance, you're allowed to tackle people and knock them down, and which could potentially cause harm to them. And so that is within the context of, if you're playing that game, these are like man-made rules that are going against objective morality. That doesn't make it subjective just because man came along and we're like, oh, we're going to make these rules for over here, but they don't apply to over there. And so that's where the intellect where our intellect rationalizes these different sections of our lives where the rules change,
Right.
and then there's certain situations where it is good to have rules. In anarchy you can have rules, you just don't have rulers. I mean, and the ultimate rule for anarchy is just don't harm others. And as long as everyone kind of follows that rule, then there shouldn't be too many disagreements. But maybe another rule would be like, be responsible and caring for others, not just don't harm them, care about others too.
Sure. You would take it another step. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because if you care about others, then they're going to care about you back. And then a rising tide lifts all ships, right? So, that is how that would work. Which tides are another example of polarity: high tide, low tide.
Well, yeah, but tides, but now you're getting into the law of rhythm though a little bit, which
the rhythm. Well, the rhythm is part of the law. It's the rhythm of certain polarities that take place in nature, like the sun, like day and night, and like I was talking about the seasons, and these are all polarities, but the rhythm is the pendulum swing back and forth between these extremes. Which we'll be talking about rhythm next week, I think is the next one. But you'll see with the axiom, when you can, a lot of these laws correspond with each other, and that's part of the law of correspondence, is that they do intertwine with each other. Like vibration is another example of both rhythm and polarity, because you think of like a vibrating sound is going up and down, or whatever is vibrating back and forth, and that's both rhythm and polarity. So and the states, with polarity, it could be from moving from state to state, like from going from the state of love into the state of, the opposite state, which would be fear. It's like, and there's every other degree of love versus fear in between. So,
Oops.
polarity is a big one that
Huh.
crosses over many planes, or it exists on all planes, actually. The great mental plane, the great physical plane, and the great spiritual plane.
True truths.
Yes. So I need to get to working on some painting here.
Shoot, it's not letting me do it. Why? Arrange.
Oh, I guess that's... We'll be using that.
Shoot. Why are you doing this to me, you brat?
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, good. Sorry, I'm thinking too much, so I can't talk.
That's all right. It happens. You got to think sometimes. Yeah, it's like you could even like almost. I mean, you got the opposites, positive and negative charge, which is like starts getting into like gender too, a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oops. So, yeah, I had an experience. I'm not sure if this is polarity, but I think it is polarity. I'm just going to share this experience with something we were doing. We're studying PMAs, right? So I started to recognize the simplicity of the basis of what this is all about, and it's all about contracts, right? And so contracts are very simple. We make them every day. Just a conversation or an agreement is a contract, so it's not a big deal. But I was trying to explain it to the people in the class, and I thought about like the stoplight situation, like, when the stoplights go out and what happens to us, how we have to revert back to basically the private, like we go, like the having the stoplights make us rely upon an external monarchy. And so we zone out, and as a result, it's kind of amazing, the polarity actually, as a result of having an external monarchy being the stoplight, we immediately switch over to trying to get something from the situation rather than trying to give in the situation, because we zoom through the yellow light, and which is the time at which our brothers and sisters need to turn. And so we immediately switch over into theft because we're stealing their time. And so that is a polarity, but it's also many other laws.
That's why the roundabout's better, because it uses sacred geometry and you go in a circle and you have to make decisions. And you're making an internal decision. You're not letting the decision be made externally by that signal. I mean, the geometry takes people in a circle, and then you turn where you need to be. And,
But I just thought it was really
that.
amazing. I just wanted to say that it's just really amazing to observe that when you rely upon an external monarchy, you immediately go into theft. Like there's no,
Yeah, no.
you'd have to really be conscious to not go into theft at that moment. And I just thought that was wild.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like you're zooming through the light because you want to make the light, right? And so it's kind of like forcing you into this situation where you have to make this, like, do I zoom or do I not zoom? And most people just zoom, but yeah, then you're all of a sudden you're in theft because you might be stealing someone else's time because their light's green, but they still have to wait for you to go by.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally amazing. I was like, wow, this is some shit right here. It's like, if you think we're just theorizing about natural law, no, we're not. It's a real thing. And it would be really good if we all knew about it.
But see, I think like with the polarity and like if you have the roundabout, everyone has to slow down a little bit, and you still have to make some. It's more of like, I feel like with the roundabout, it's less of a external governing than the traffic light, because
it's funny that you should say this, because I absolutely detest the roundabout, but you're
probably
actually,
because you have to use your brain more to get through it.
maybe so.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to negotiate with fellow drivers that are in the circle.
Yeah,
Maybe that is what's happening.
with the traffic light, there's almost no negotiation unless you're taking a left turn,
Or
maybe a
unless
right
the
turn.
light's out. Only if the
or unless the
light
light's out. Yeah, and then you just treat it like a stop sign, and you have to,
you have to remember what you learned in driver's ed.
you have to remember the whole right of way rules and stuff like that, and who stopped first to go first, and all that stuff. But like in the roundabout, it's kind of the same thing. It's like you got to slow down. You got to make sure it's clear, and if you're going left, you got to make sure you're over to the left. If you're going right, you got to make sure you're over to the right. If it's a 2-laner, and so
Think.
Yeah, it's amazing. You have to use
but that's good,
critical
because you have to
thinking.
use your internal governing versus the external, light,
Yeah.
which does all the thinking for you.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. It really, I mean, I've been observing this lately in many different ways, and it's just really a trip.
That is
I
good.
just wanted to share.
Yeah. I like that viewpoint.
Oops.
Can you see that?
I can't see anything right now, but I'll
Okay.
switch over so I can see. What? Oh, neat, dude.
Hey, see that? So do you think that's the proper screw?
I can't. You'd have to point, show me. I mean,
You
you
see
have
it?
to, I can't really see it.
Okay,
I bet you know that whether it is or isn't.
let me see. There we go. So it has a
Oh, neat.
square head with kind of a washer that's part of
Oh,
it.
that sounds good.
So I think that's what I'll use. Okay,
That's nice.
thank you.
Well, I'm glad I was helpful.
You were helpful.
So yeah, so yeah, it was pretty interesting. I gotta say that whole situation is
So
steady.
how's it going?
It's going really well, honestly. It's
Well, you
really
were-
going, huh?
Last week you weren't so upbeat.
Oh, it's starting. Well, I had a brainstorm. Like I started to get it this week. Like I started to have to understand it. I mean, I realized that I can't make other people understand it. But it doesn't matter. I mean, I tried to get them to understand it, but you know, and I gave them some exercises, you know, like I said about the contracts thing to help them to see that we're always making contracts, but I can't make them get it.
Okay.
But I am starting to get it, which gives me great hope. Just because I had that experience with the contracts thing. So to me, that is a sign that I will eventually understand all this. Thank God. Woo!
That's
Oh, it's
a
just so
breakthrough.
hard. It's just so hard. It's just, I mean, but it is. I mean, I know that it isn't really that difficult. The subject matter is not that difficult. It's just because it's not something we use.
Yeah.
That's what makes it difficult for me. And so I have to basically come out of mind control about it.
That's it.
And so that's just going to take some time. It always takes time to come out of mind control for me anyway.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
it's been like 6 months it's taken for me to figure this out.
How much time do you spend on it per day?
I don't know. It depends. Not much. Necessarily. Oops. It depends on
The factors are many.
I mean, you know, it depends on whether I find something new to read about or whatever.
Okay.
You know, I'm on a bunch of different channels and a lot of different I can, if I read about it or whatever, then I will come across something generally that will be something new. And then I will, maybe it'll penetrate. But like, for example, Andy posted this amazing video about Randy Kelton, who's one of these law guys. And he's talking about how, don't worry, you know, Biden and all those idiots supposedly sold our sovereignty to the World Health Organization. And he just showed how that was just absolutely not true. And you don't have to worry about it. I mean, there's things you have to do, maybe, but he basically showed how to deal with it. And it's all law stuff. So it made sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I watched that last night and I got it. I got it. I don't have the courage to do it at the moment, but I think I might eventually. So that was hopeful.
That's good.
I figure, I mean, I figure we're not learning this for no reason. You know, I figure eventually we will have the chutzpah or whatever to actually do something.
Right.
But I mean, and he was talking about, I mean, this is polarity too, because it's like the difference between acting and not, and taking no action. He was talking about like how fun it is. Like the thing that's the hardest thing is doing it the first time. And
Sure.
he said that after you do it the first time, it's so fun. And this is what he said. He goes, the first time you call, you're pulled over on the side of the road with a cop, and you call the cops. You call 911 because that cop is agitated, and you say, I'm with a person who has a deadly weapon and he's agitated. I'd like someone to come and help me. He said that after you do that the first time, it's so much fun that you want to do it all the time. I was like, oh my God, that sounds really
So you
fun.
basically call the police on the policeman
Yep,
who's giving
exactly.
you a speeding ticket.
That's right. Yeah, or whatever they're doing. Yep. I know. It's pretty hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like right now, the thought of doing that makes me both want to do it and want to vomit
Yeah.
at the same time.
Queasy was the word I came up with.
Queasy, I would call it like hurl.
Well, I don't know.
It's not-
I'd be worried to do that because like the responder from the 911 call might be that dude's like friend at the station, and
No, they're not like, I mean, maybe in Evergreen, but here it's a whole different department. You're
Yeah.
not even, the 911 responder is not even.
right.
But again, like this is the point, like you're not ready to do it if that's what you're concerned about, but it's like.
I don't know. I've had a lot of traumatic experiences with police officers, and bringing more of them to the scene does not sound like a good idea to me.
Right. Well, whatever. The point is that that's just, I mean, I'm not saying that that's something I'm going to do particularly, but he was just talking about like filing a criminal complaint. This particular guy filed a criminal complaint against the governor of Texas after the mask mandates and got them, and his criminal complaint got them all rescinded.
Nice.
So it's basically
Wow.
like a way out.
Well, you rarely hear of actual wins for some reason.
Yeah, unless you're on you're on the alternative media.
Oh God, they're not
Right.
going to tell you about wins in the mainstream media. They're not going to be like, oh, yeah.
Randy Kelton used a criminal complaint to. No, they're not going to tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, it was really neat. It was just pretty neat. I really enjoyed. That's what I watched last night. But that was, that's not really to do with this topic, but it is part of all of it.
Yeah.
Because basically what we're doing is we're learning how to defend the PMAs.
I mean, it makes sense though. Like, oh, a cop's bothering you. Why don't you call 911 and say you're being harassed? And it makes sense that it would work.
Right. Except not in Denver anymore. See, that's the thing, because Denver has, they're not doing that anymore or whatever. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that it's about like what you can do. So
That's good.
it's just
I'm glad
cool
to
stuff
hear
to
that.
me. It's
like
just
that.
hopeful to me. It just makes me feel like, wow, there is stuff we can actually do about this, and I'm going to do it. What happened to my whale? I lost my whale. Shit. How did I lose my whale?
Is it a layer?
Yeah, but it's not there.
Oh, no, I hate that.
Oh, well, I just had it.
It's there.
It's not here. No,
It just hid it from you.
it's not. I don't see it.
That's weird.
It's gone. I must have erased it by accident.
Ah,
Let me open something else.
won't be the first time that's happened in the history of digital art.
Oh, I know, right? I know. Where'd it go? Rich privacy. Let's see. So yeah, I don't know. It is starting to penetrate my skull though, so that's good. And I'm also like, just so you know, I'm eating a lot of brain food
That's good.
to make my brain elastic.
What kind of foods would that consist of?
Coconut oil and some supplements like that. There's a mushroom. It's like bakupa or something. I can't remember.
Okay.
And I'm also taking that ashwagandha that you suggested as a tincture.
Nice. That just like it's just one of those adaptogens that helps with stress and stuff. Yeah. You know what? I got these delicious dried coconut like strip things. They're so good. Like you bite into them and you can just feel the like oil like coming
Oh,
out.
did you get that at the natural grocers in a bag?
I think I didn't get these ones there, but yeah, I've got them there before, I think.
Okay.
Man. I love coconut.
Me too.
Well, so my coworker told me to simply use it instead of butter on toast.
Oh yeah.
It's great. Yeah, I like it.
If you get the unfiltered, like virgin coconut oil too, it still kind of has a little bit of a coconutty taste to it.
Oh yeah.
I like that stuff the best.
I gotta
Oh,
go
yeah.
open the door.
Okay. Nope, I lost the layer. Darn it.
Oh,
It's gone, man. I don't know where the hell it is. I'm gonna have to do that one over. Ugh. How annoying, right?
yeah.
I just, whatever. That's just the way it is.
Do you have a different version of the file that might still
I've
be
just
in?
opened a bunch of them and it's not there.
Oh, it's weird.
I know. Oh, maybe this one. Nope. No, this is probably from before when, remember I told you I was having trouble saving it and I had to restart it. So I'm going to guess that that was what was going on.
Probably when it happened, huh?
Yeah, that it just wasn't, it didn't, it was
Didn't fully register.
something, there was something funky going on in
Yeah.
computer land.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry. There's going to be a life drawing class in the gallery tonight.
Woohoo, are you going to go?
Nice.
I'm with you guys.
Oh yeah, I know. I just was checking. I was just checking on the loyalty factor. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you got it. I'm in with you.
That's so
Great.
cool.
So glad to have you here.
Thank you. I like listening to you guys.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, I mean, the law of polarity is very important because the elites they try to polarize us into different sides on the issue, polarize each other against each other.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
they
the
use
political,
these schisms, yeah. Mm-hmm.
the political system is one where they like to do it, most especially.
They pretty much do it with everything.
Oh yeah, I guess they're doing it with the stupid fake war in the Ukraine, right?
Yep. And monkeypox.
Oh, monkeypox. Yeah, the new one. See, I
Mhm.
just love how they're just harming animals willy-nilly with this one. That just drives me nuts, man. I swear to God. It drives me up a wall and back down the other side. Oh, I just can't stand it. Like, what are they doing to now? They're torturing monkeys now? Is that the new thing with monkeypox? I mean, don't they have to test a bunch of monkeys or
I thought it came from gophers.
are you serious? You're joking, right?
No, I'm not
It
joking.
came from gophers? I thought, well, where's the monkeys involved?
Probably monkeys have it too.
You're just kidding now.
I don't really know that
Why
much
would they
about
call
it.
it gopher pox then?
I don't
No,
know.
it is monkeys. I remember seeing. I looked into it a little bit because of course Andy has to, respond to that baloney. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And he did respond to it.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, God help us. It's just a freaking nightmare. I mean, just to think that, well, the people who don't understand the law of polarity are going to go back and forth and buy into the,
Monkeypox scam.
ping pong back and forth. Oh, now it's monkeypox. Yeah, right. Whatever. Good luck.
Have you heard what Andy's saying about it?
Oh yeah, he did a video on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was basically just, I didn't watch the video yet, but it's basically, I think it's just basically saying it's all baloney. Get over it.
Right.
It's not real.
Right.
It's just a scam, like every other scam. Don't
Trying
fall
to
for
freak
it.
some people out on another thing. Oh no, we got a monkeypox pandemic on
Right
the
now I mean, look at what they're doing. That we have monkeypox. Now we have also a false flag shooting in Texas
Oh, yeah.
and the war in Ukraine.
Seems like there's rolling this shit out a lot more often.
Well, right. It's trying to cause extreme chaos and fear at every turn.
Well, we're still in the season of sacrifice, right?
Right. We are. I was thinking that actually.
That's a factor, at least right now.
Sadly. You know about that, right, Jeff?
Go on.
Tell him I gotta say hi to
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember the exact dates, but like starting
April
around,
18th through May 20. Oh no, May something. Or
yeah, it's like April 18th through May something, and it's the season of sacrifice, and a lot of bad stuff happens during that time, and it's part of the satanic ritual religion that they have to sacrifice stuff during this time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell.
Okay.
And
Yeah, it makes
you
sense.
could probably get into it way more. There's probably way more nuances to it than that, but like, yeah, it's basically what it is.
Okay.
yeah, that's a Mark Passio thing. Like he pointed that out, that it's it's a Beltane festival thing or something like that.
Okay.
It's death and rebirth time or
It's
something.
like it's almost like when they talk about like ancient people would do the sacrifices in the spring to so their crops would grow better and stuff.
Sure.
Kind of comes from that.
So they sacrifice us.
Comes from that kind of old religion stuff.
Yeah, it's
With
pretty.
that's what sometimes the Satanism is actually referred to as the old religion sometimes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then they would that was a big thing to sacrifice. It's in the Bible.
Slaves,
It's even in like the Bible.
just some
for God's sake.
slaves, no big deal.
Well, animals, they would,
Yeah, animals.
they thought giving, because I guess their God is like a bloodthirsty God. So they have to
Have to feed them.
Feed them. Yeah. So they have wars and they do it in all kinds of different ways,
Mhm.
you know. Where did it go? I freaking hate this shit, man. So yeah.
Did you lose something else?
Yeah. Because I'm using GIMP, not Photoshop, so it's not quite the same situation. Sometimes things, yeah, it's just different. And it's not always like fail safe. Like right now, oh, fuck it. I'm just gonna have to. No, where the hell did it go? I just can't deal with it.
Hate that.
Active layers,
that
pixels
noise?
are locked. Okay, fine. So yeah. Season of sacrifice.
Well, I hope it's just one season.
Oh, it's every year.
Mm.
They do it every year. And then there's that thing with March 22nd, which I don't remember if, I don't know why, if that's part of the season of sacrifice or not. It might be the beginning of it, March 22nd, right? 3/22. That's the, you see that in the, skull and bones coffin thing with the, in their symbolism.
Right.
So blah, blah. It's a drag. It really is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a freaking drag. I'm like, it could be so nice here if only they weren't here. Messing around with us.
Yeah, it's too bad. All right. But, you know, I mean, part of it, of their magic is us, you know, believing what they're doing and letting them get away with it, you know, in some ways. Just our belief, you know, in the, you know, if you're like really believe in the mainstream media and you see this stuff, you're just like, well, you just accept it. It's like, it's almost like
Right.
that's the way of like getting away with it, is as long as people accept it, then we can just keep doing
I mean,
it.
because we don't really know if real people actually died in this or whether it was crisis actors, you know, that will come out later, but it'll only be in the
Fringe media.
French media. There is a whole thing about that, like that George Foreman situation with that idiot. He was really a like he was an actor.
George Floyd
Yeah, George Floyd.
or the cop? Oh,
George Floyd. He was like a
Yeah.
sex actor. He made sex films.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he wasn't even real. He wasn't even dead or whatever. It was all big. I mean, but the fact that people are willing to do that, it's just, that's really the hard part to accept, in my opinion. Like, you know, that people are willing to
What happened with the hospitals too, where they were just taking photos,
oh yeah, right.
Like-
Right.
these full places, and it wasn't even really a thing, you know. And then you had like some of these people, these like nurses and stuff, that were taking these like pictures of them in like empty hospitals. And then those are all getting like censored right away. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Yes, I do.
Right. So that's, but there literally, I saw one in the Denver Craigslist. I didn't unfortunately, I didn't take a picture of it in time because I didn't realize what I was looking at. This was a while ago. And it was a call for crisis actors.
Wow.
That was before something, like maybe the
Yeah, like they're hiring people.
yeah, they
that-
hire people. I mean,
Mhm.
that's the fact. It's so scary. It's
Yeah.
just so horrifying that people are willing to do stuff like that
like
for
they're
a
bringing
dollar.
the Hollywood and the cinema, this fake stuff, and they're calling it real stuff and creating fear in people when they do it.
You know, that's that's the part that's really sad, is that people will do anything for a dollar,
Well, that's, yep.
you know. So that's, I mean, but then again, it's the same kind of thing. It's like I'm like, I mean, I'm not gonna try really hard not to get depressed about that.
Right?
It's not gonna help.
No.
I'm just like, well, that's just their path, and they're gonna pay for that. No, I wouldn't want to be them,
Yeah.
you know.
It's-
So yeah, it's fucked up.
yeah, and it's, it's too bad too, because I'm sure those people who sign up for that sign like a agreement that if they come out and say anything about what they were acting in, then I'm sure they get suicided.
Probably,
Mhm.
right? Isn't that hard? I mean, that's the crazy world we're in right now, right? Still insane. So
Well, that
insane.
tells you something about manifesting and how they're using the media to manifest the agendas they want through taken through people's fear, so that if you're afraid of something, then guess what? They have a law to protect you against that fear. But or they have a solution, right? But guess what? The solution usually involves giving up more of your rights. And this
Right.
is how they do the willing slave, because part of their religion says we can't force people to do it. They have to be willing. They have to be willing slaves. We can't just force them to be a slave. We have to paint a picture so they want to be a slave. It's psychological warfare.
It is definitely that. Social engineering.
It's bizarre. It's so bizarre.
And that's a side of the polarity where they're tricking you. They're taking you from being in truth and in love, and they're putting you over here in fear and seclusion.
Yeah,
Yep.
so like crazy.
Totally
You want-
wacko. I mean, it pisses me
want you
off
to-
sometimes, when I see that stuff happening in the world. Makes you want to just like do some violence, but
But that's not going to help, obviously,
it's not
because
going to help,
Right.
yeah, it sucks. It does suck a lot. Yeah, but I mean, and then most of the mainstream believes it, right? That's the point. That's the sad part. Like remember the last one was in Boulder, like I guess it was in Boulder, that King Supers or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that I knew somebody from Autonomy's brother lived in Boulder across the street from that King Supers. And he was saying how immediately they put up a fence around it, or they did that before it even happened. They like there was some really fishy thing going on. Like they put up a fence around it before it even happened, and then
they tore it down.
then they tore down the building.
Did they really?
Yes.
The
Yes.
one in
because-
Boulder?
Yes.
Really?
Yes,
I-
they really.
Oh, fuck. That's what
Because
they do.
supposedly they were supposedly going to renovate it as it was. Like that was the plan. Like it just coincidentally, got hit right before they were gonna. That's all bullshit. But so yeah, that's what they said, and they tore it down, and so no one could ever go in to.
Right. Get rid of the the evidence.
see what the fuck was going on in there. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So yeah, it's totally, totally annoying. I mean, and then, yeah. There was, the Louisville fires, right? Obviously, that was
Yeah.
something, who knows? We just still don't really know, like, who was living in Louisville that they wanted to sacrifice or whatever. Like, why did they pick Louisville? But it also happened at exactly the same time in California, but that was like, they didn't focus there. There was something about it. I can't remember now what it was. There was something poetic or something about it. You know how they do shit.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it was really. So yeah, it's so much fun. Fun.
What do you think the next thing would be?
I have no idea. What do you think?
I don't know. I'll think about it.
I mean, it's you know, they're kind of creative about some of them, but I don't know. How could you guess? See,
I don't
but
know. I feel like there's so many because wasn't there one not that like just a few weeks ago? Like there's some
really?
other. It was
what?
yeah, I can't remember now because they happen so often these days.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear it about it.
There was
Thank God.
this.
Yeah. Well, gonna have a call for the guns again, and then they're gonna have record gun sales.
Damn right.
Their gun stores are going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
They see that's the problem is like they've got their tentacles on both sides of the polarity. So like whichever one takes off and works doesn't really matter to them in some ways because they still make the money off of it, you know?
Yep.
You know, like just like if you take COVID for as an example, like there's think about how much money was made just off of the mask. You know, with
I see
large
those things
corporations.
all over the place. Just
I know. I mean, but like
scattered
it's like
around, just like
something that only was used in medicine, and now everyone in the world has to have them. Think
Yeah.
about like if even every mask is 50 cents, say that they made off of every mask, that's billions of dollars still.
yes, it is.
And I was seeing masks for like $15 and $20 for one mask. Some like designer thing that has your like favorite like NFL team on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
God,
sure.
The
please help me.
logo, you know,
You can't see my face, but you can see my team.
with like harsh chemicals that they use to print that mask with, it's like those inks you use in silkscreen printing, those things aren't good for you.
Well,
I don't know if I want that on the thing I'm breathing in and out of through all day.
Well, the oxygen deprivation, just
Yeah.
it's so stupid. People.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's just like
I know.
all that money, just like all of a sudden now here's a product that everyone has to buy, that never,
Not
that
everybody.
only like not, well, I know not everyone, but I mean, just think about how much money was made just off.
Oh,
the
I
mask.
know. You're right.
It's insane. And people don't look at it in that perspective. They're like, whoa, well, they weren't trying to make money. I don't know.
They care about us.
It's basically was like a whole scam to get, this is one thing that I noticed was, when you think about marketing, you're like, oh, I have to figure out how to take my product to market so that I can get money. Well, how about you just skip the market altogether and you take your product to government and then they print money and give it to you? That seems like a better approach to me, because then you don't have to worry about the average person making a free will decision. Oh, I'm going to buy this product or not buy this product. You just get the money straight from from the printing press itself, and that's what the pharmaceutical companies did with this vaccine. That's why it's free, because the government paid them for it.
Right. exactly. No, I've had,
That's the best way to make money, in my opinion, would be for free. Let's figure out a way where we can just have government give us directly money, print money just for our cause. You know,
never happened.
not unless you're a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah. Well, so the bankers and oil got theirs, you know,
Well, yeah.
and the military industrial complex always gets theirs, but yeah.
But
Drugs.
there's a famous, I think there's a famous quote. I don't have it with me right now from, I think it's Thomas Jefferson. And it's something about like, it basically is talks about how is if you let the banks control the money, then bad things happen. But if like the people can control the money, then it's not as bad. I can't remember exactly what the quote said.
Somewhere I'm looking at this notebook. This is old. Henry Ford said this: "It is well enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system. For if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning." Henry Ford.
Yes, I have seen
And
that.
he's one of them too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You've seen that. I've seen that quote before. That is a great one.
Yeah.
And that ties into the fact that when he was around, the banking cartels had already owned the currency. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't like all the presidents that have been assassinated, it was over the currency when they tried to take the currency away from the Federal Reserve and the banking cartels. You know,
Well, they tried to shoot Jackson twice and misfired or something, but
but they basically still accomplished what they wanted to, even though he didn't die.
Right.
Which is sad. And that's actually, if you really look into history, that's one of the things our founding fathers was trying to escape when they came to the United States, was these banking cartels.
Right.
So it's just sad. I don't know. Always when I think about that stuff, I just think about Thomas Jefferson and these guys just like rolling in their graves like, oh, fuck. I thought we took care of this already.
Well, it's just steady erosion.
Yeah.
Incrementalism.
We need to get some of
the
that
thing is
going
that
on.
they also failed to realize, though, is that the way that they did it kind of brought it on. So, I mean, they knew only a little bit.
Yeah.
So they did bring it on themselves in a certain way because of, it was a basically cause and effect because of how much harm they caused when they came here.
Mhm.
But, I mean, I'm pretty sure that, what was I just listening to last night? Oh, I think it was Randy Kelton. Maybe he was saying that this happens. This is a natural process that we're in, that always happens, and government encroaches and the people push back, and then
And the paradox is resolved
for a while.
There's a compromise usually on both sides, I feel like, in history. Or there isn't. The side that wins just wins, and then that's the compromise, is that if you're on the losing side, you have to obey the winning side.
Well, but he's saying that the people win. They win. Maybe there's a time of it to be like this, and then.
Right. It's kind of like a cycle.
It's a cycle. This isn't new.
Or a pendulum swing,
But I mean, unfortunately, it would be nice if we could just be free learn our lesson
Yeah.
and everything. But unfortunately, that the problem is with the following generations, like how to ward against this sort of tyranny, which is going to come about.
I think we just need to form communities and have, you know, what Jeff just basically brought up of that, you know, constant, just like persistent erosion of the machine, you know, as long as there's enough freedom minded people, or if we could start some sort of like freedom or organization that is like, could become a multi-generational thing that could keep eroding this,
But that
you know,
didn't,
government
but
system.
that never became corrupt itself. I mean, that would be very difficult. How would that
I
be?
know.
You know, how could you? I mean, maybe you just accept that this is what's going to happen. You just accept it as like there isn't a way to.
Well, I think there would have to be a transition into something like that, but like, yeah, it would be. I think we'd have to make some radical changes with our education system, and
Sure.
you know, we'd have
Right,
to
but
make
that would be,
radical changes with our media and
well,
how
right, but
this
that would mean that
world's
we
presented
would
to
have
us.
had, we would have been, we would have won and had the unity to know that what was going on so that we could prevent it in the future, which only a handful of people know what's going on.
And I think we're getting with the internet and stuff. I think there are some communities that are forming around this kind of idea, and you know,
I totally agree. There just aren't enough. That's
there's
all.
not enough, and like
Yeah.
sometimes there's infighting between these communities because, you know, kind of like what Joanna brought up, that like all the people who are complaining about the government now just want to be the new rulers or whatever, you know, and that's not the right type of mindset to have. You have to try to take the ego out of it as much as possible, because the ego is what, you know, hey, my movement is better than your freedom movement kind of thing. It's like, well, no, actually, I mean, maybe there's some good and bad things about your freedom movement. There's some good and bad things about my freedom movement. Instead of being at each other's throats, let's figure out a way to like, that we can merge both of our movements so that we can have a bigger, you know, footprint on the thing, and maybe make it into something that could be multi-generational, you know.
I think it's going to take 2 generations.
Yeah. The transition period probably would take 2-3
Yeah.
generations at
Yeah.
least.
Because of the majority of people really just want to be free from freedom. And that's just because they've just been so indoctrinated in the system. It's working so well for them. They that
They. Well, I mean, you know, just from my experience with what I'm going through to learn the stuff that I'm learning, I mean, most people don't want to make that kind of effort and go through that.
right. They want to be free from freedom. Just because
Well,
that's,
they can.
yeah.
Well, it's
They
like
will.
they're like in a state of ignorance, so they're ignoring it and just
Right.
channeling their energy into something else, like being like a
Xbox.
cycling enthusiast or something, where like their whole life revolves around bicycling, you know, and you know, they go to their day job and work their hours just so they have enough money to live and have food and be able to go ride their bicycle every weekend. There's, you know,
Right.
it's not
Well, I
necessarily
mean-
a bad thing, but at the same
Right.
time, you can't just like conform. And, you know, when more and more freedoms are starting to get
Right.
taken away, you know, you gotta, at some point, you gotta be like, hey, I like to ride my bike, but, you know, I also, maybe I should put print a thing, a bicycling shirt that says, something freedom minded on the back, so when I'm riding my bike and someone drives by me, they get a, message or something.
Well, so that people can always ride their bike. It might be the way it's heading is like they're going to take those privileges away.
Yeah. And like, and there's a way you can even use bicycling though. Like, I mean, you could start a cycling freedom group where you guys go ride bikes and like, do things for the community or whatever, however that works,
Right. And have some interesting conversations.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Not just about fucking bikes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I knew way too many one-dimensional people in Durango. And, you could call it bikes, fly fishing, golfing, it's just kind of excessive, and they're not looking around at all. They're just, doing their job, and then they recreate.
Right.
And
yeah.
there's kind of no balance.
And I can see some of this stuff, it like pisses you off. It makes you, it could potentially instill fear into certain people. It can cause you to have, there's positive sides of it too, because you can see through the fallacies and you're not going to maybe have the fear that some other people might have too, because you're seeing through that fallacy. And, and so I think that paying attention is important.
Hey, Woody, did you tell Jeff your idea?
Oh yeah, no, I haven't. But I was mentioned to Joanna that I thought I was thinking it would be cool if we, made the truth show like an annual event. I know that's your decision; it's your gallery and stuff. But
I know that thought has definitely crossed my mind. So I think it's yeah. I think like next year will be better.
Yeah,
because the word will be out.
For sure. And no matter what, every year there's going to be a need for truth to be talked about.
No, that's not going away. The need for truth.
I don't think that's going away anytime soon.
No.
I'd like to say it is, but
right.
I don't think it's a reality. But
let's see. So is this? I think this guy is from Tacoma, Washington. He's an artist. He had a really good suggestion regarding getting the word out to other alt media places, besides Autonomy and Tragedy and Hope.
Right.
He threw out a couple names, do you know Blacklisted News?
No.
Really? Okay.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So Doug Owen, I think, put it together, and he owned Oracle Radio. Did you ever go to
I've
Oracle?
heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Doug got, now I think he has 3 kids. So he kind of got out of the business except for Blacklisted. But anyway, so this guy brought up Blacklisted and a couple of other sources. It's on my computer. But do you guys have any other ideas on how to get the word out? Where to?
I think maybe the One Great Work Network, maybe somehow, I mean, we're on there, but there's other more popular podcasts and shows and stuff on there. If we could get some coverage off of that, that's Mark's,
Okay.
part of, tapping into more of Mark Passio's community and stuff.
Sure. No, they're perfect.
I don't know what strategy we would use to do that, but
right.
No, I have to think about that. I mean, I'm sure there's artists who are on there, don't you think?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Is Mark still doing his podcast, or is he back on hiatus again?
Oh, I think he's still doing it. I don't, I see it on going live on Telegram, but I haven't gone on lately.
I wonder if he still does the Q&A and stuff, because maybe that could be brought up in a Q&A on his during his podcast.
Huh,
Just
can
a thought.
anybody drop in on that?
I think so. You might have to
Yeah.
have the Discord link that he usually shares if he's doing a Q&A. He doesn't do a Q&A on every podcast though, so it's kind of like hit or miss, you know. He usually goes through like make sure he gets all the way through the subject he's talking about before he does the Q&A thing. But that might be an avenue to get some more coverage on this. I don't know if there's like any Facebook groups or anything like that that could be, or like, you know, Telegram groups that could be, a poster could maybe be shared on or something like that. That could be an outlet.
I think there's a Libertarians for Art site.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that might actually be not a bad place too, because, you know, I don't necessarily agree with the libertarians as far as needing government, but like I think that they're onto something and they want more freedom. So,
Yeah, they want more freedom
which isn't a bad thing. So.
and a small government. Yeah, but you can't keep a government down. They always grow.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean, you know, in the beginning like this, you kind of have to, you can't just oppose people.
Well,
You just have to go along
No.
with.
People have to get used to having a whole lot less government. And for some people, it'd just be like the floor just fell out from under them.
Well, they have a untrue picture of what government is too, though, and like what services they're actually getting from government, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is it's better to just make friends with them and then talk to them later about it. Because we're
Sure.
all kind of in the same camp, you know.
Right.
I mean, that's what we're doing. We use the Independence Institute for a lot of our, and the Independence Institute is a libertarian organization. They have a lot of money somehow. Probably because they believe in government. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we don't,
Or they just got good grant writers and good, you know, marketing and offers that they put out there.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to think about it. I have to think about this more.
Okay. Yeah. If it just hits you, just send me something, you know.
Yeah.
But I think we got about 5 weeks.
Ah, is that all?
I think so.
Jeez, 5 weeks. Lord,
Woo!
that's I got a lot of work to do here.
Yeah, I've got some work to do too, but
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
I'm
no,
excited.
I'll have to think about it.
I'm excited about it still. So
Yeah, cool.
Well, how many artists do you think you have now?
Well, it's probably time to. So there's several artists that are going to do pieces, but I can't get them to just play along and fill out the piece of paper on. It's not a piece of paper, but fill out the form online and send it in.
Of
Right.
course you can't. Of course, I
You
understand
know, they're
that.
fucking artists. You know what the hell? Can't
Yeah.
wrangle those goddamn cats with 2 legs.
Exactly. They're artists. What do you want?
I know.
I know. I mean, there's people like that. We have, you know, people who want interviews with Andy and they they get an interview with Andy and then he sends me a link saying, can you get them to do this, this and this? And I'm thinking, no, I cannot, but I'll pretend to try to get
Oh.
them to fill out the form and all this bullshit, which they don't
Right.
do, right?
Right, that's
They don't
exactly
do it.
it.
They won't do it. They won't fill it out. Somehow they think they're getting away with something.
I don't know, but they have like everyone has this trauma, like where like if you fill out a form, then you're gonna get emails from them for like the rest of your life or something. I don't know.
Well, that particular form is
No,
not about that.
Yeah, I
But,
know, I
yeah,
know that,
yeah,
but I mean, I
right.
think that people generalize it. You go on a website.
Well,
well, no, that's not,
Well,
I
I
mean,
feel
that's not
like
the
I need to-
case.
I feel we need to communicate with the artists, you know, like
Yeah, I
as
agree.
a group, because it's a fucking group show. And,
For sure.
and just, you know, give them some information, you know, about the show, and that we can give them, you know, we're going to create a flyer this week. It'll be done. Something that we could, you know, send to you and you can send to your people, and we can, you know, just get it out there as a promo piece. So that's coming up.
Nice.
But yeah, we need to communicate with y'all.
I
Some-
agree. I mean, I totally
Yeah,
agree.
we're
But that's
doing,
the point. It's like they,
Yeah.
yeah, they
So
won't.
you're doing the actual opening kind of nights thing on the first Friday then?
Yeah, it's the first Friday is the opening, and then I'd like to have
Isn't that the first two or something weird like that?
for the show first two.
Of the July? Isn't that July 1st, the first
It's
Friday?
July 1st is the opening. Yeah, and it is first Friday.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sounds great. I'm
yeah,
excited.
that almost never happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you want my pieces to be framed?
I don't certainly don't demand that of the artist.
I think it will look better, but I'll
It
try. I'm
probably-
going to do what I can to get them
All
framed.
right, that's fair. It would look better if it's framed.
Luckily, I used to do framing, so I think I can pull it together. Just
You're
like
an
some simple frames or something.
Right, you're an old pro. Okay.
I'll make art that doesn't need to be framed. That's my way out of
Yeah,
it. See,
I
I'm just
was-
like that. I'm just like that. Like I get around all these forms and shit, just like them.
Same here. I was totally anti-frame for fucking ever. And I did frame my woodblock prints, but I've never framed a painting. I mean, some paintings really do look better with the frame.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sure they do. I just can't afford it. So
Yeah,
I make
just
things that don't require
Yeah.
frames.
pull artist.
Yeah, I just make my own. I'll just go buy some 1x1s or something and cut them with the miter saw and put it around the canvases or canvas boards, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Paint them black, you know,
That sounds great.
call it good.
Yeah.
So I'm working on this correspondence part of this painting right now.
Yeah, I
So
was
I'm
going to say
working
something
on
actually
polarity.
about polarity. You know, there's this thing. You know how they say it's for some reason that to me this is about polarity, which is people say it's the darkest before the dawn, right? And what I had a true experience with this when I was traveling back from Idaho on whatever that route is. I think I don't know what route it is when you get off I-80 and you come down through Craig.
Okay. Yeah.
And you go through Steamboat.
Yep. I've been there.
So I ended up sleeping on the side of the road in my car, and I woke up right before dawn, and I was able to watch the sky. And what it was it's an optical illusion, because it's the sun that makes the stars go away and makes it dark. But you can't see the sun.
Right. No, I know what you mean.
So to me, that's like a true law of polarity right there. It's an optical illusion, but it resolves the extreme
Mhm.
It itself resolves the extremes, but because of being human, you can't really see it. You have to know the laws in order to, you know what I mean? It's just really, it was amazing. I was like, oh, wow, this is what they're, you know, because
Right. No, I know what you
it's the
mean.
presence of the actual solution that is making it appear to be darkest.
Uh-huh.
So it's pretty cool. I was like, to me, I think that's demonstrative of polarity.
For sure.
I mean, I actually feel that way when I'm with my groups of people and we're doing our thing, whatever our thing is. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel so good that we're all together doing this thing, whatever we're doing, right? And yet, you know, we should be kind of horrified that we're doing it, but I kind of know it's like we're doing the right thing and it's all going to work out really good. So you can't see it, but you can feel it.
Right. It's like using that
Yeah.
intuition, you know,
Huh?
the stuff looks bad, but it's really, we're going to end up better at the end of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this is what we were waiting for. We were waiting for this to happen because
Mhm.
we couldn't get anybody to do anything until it got this bad.
Well, I think that there is a lot more reception to some of this kind of material now than there was before, because just people are seeing through like things a little bit more. They're like, wait a minute, something fishy going on here. Can't quite put my finger on it, but I know it's fishy.
Just doesn't smell right.
Something unsettling happening, you know.
Okay.
Where's the beginning?
Oh, look at all those cars. There must be a lot of people in your studio.
What? In your
There-
studio?
Well, I'm in my studio, but they're in the big gallery.
Oh, got a successful
Big
life
blow.
drawing event going
Yeah,
down.
but there was all kinds of chatter going on, lots of talk, and then all of a sudden it went quiet.
Probably started doing art.
Yeah, starting to draw. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to run a figure painting night for like 2 years before Corona. It was so much fun.
So, hey, Joanna,
Yes.
I'm going to take the camera on a little drive. So if you guys just be quiet.
Okay.
Okay,
Sure.
Here we go. We'll see what it looks like in there.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Not right off the bat, but as I get back into it in the long run, I don't know the towards the end, but basically, you know, I'll be someplace between pencil and charcoal. And something's easy to move.
Hi.
Everybody know Jeff? Hi, Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Hi. Welcome. Okay.
Great space.
All right. Enjoy it.
Nosy.
Okay.
Nosy. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, they're dying for community.
Oh no, I got white paint on my black pants. That's what I get for dropping my brush.
Dude, you wore black pants. That's like me. That's like the kind of thing I would do. Wear black pants. Yep. I mean, I wore my favorite shirt that day that we were making those signs, and I got orange paint on my favorite shirt. That day.
See, the thing is if you get black paint on your black pants, you just paint it black, right?
That's right. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good
I'm
idea.
not too worried about these. I don't like these pants that much anyways. They're kind of new, but they're just weird. I think the sizing was wrong on them, so they don't fit right. Like I always buy like the same size and it always fits right? But then these ones, they don't fit right. So it's weird.
I
think
gotta
they did
get a charger.
What?
I have to get a charger. I'll be right back.
No
Okay.
worries. Has to happen. Or I can just take a direct application of paint thinner onto my pants and wipe it off a little bit. That's got to be healthy, right?
Sure, sure. Who cares?
I'm disappointed. I forgot. I bought some new Citrusol, but I forgot it at home.
But at least you have your iPad. Thank God.
Yeah, which it's weird because it's completely dead. So but I guess it could still sense that I have
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
it, right? Or maybe that's good. Maybe it's completely dead, so it couldn't sense it, so it let us just go on. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I brought it. That's all I know.
What you bring?
Oops. His
Oh, it's
iPad.
not- I have this weird thing, like if I don't have my iPad with me, it won't let me do the live stream. It'll make me verify it on my iPad, which I don't have with me.
Uh-huh.
And it's not as easy as just calling my wife and telling her to do it on the iPad anymore because she's busy during the time I'd need her to do that. So yeah, I was just telling Joanne that I have my iPad with me tonight, so it didn't do that, but it's dead. So I'm wondering how it.
How did it know?
Yeah,
Because
how
it's
did it know?
talking to, it has some other method. It's the way that it even if it's off, it still can tell people what's going on, what we're talking about.
Or maybe it's the fact that it's dead. It just defaulted past that verification process. But if it's on and it sees me over here and it's over there, it's going to do the verification.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. All the way in Evergreen from Indian Hills?
Yeah,
Dude, that scares me.
because it's on
I
the
know.
internet. This thing's on the internet
don't
over
like
here and
these.
you're
I
over there.
I don't like it.
There's a disconnect. There's probably a setting I could get in on my YouTube account and change the setting to do a different type of verification. Like I could probably set it to use my phone instead. And then that way, like, I don't have to have my iPad. I just have to have my phone with me, which is more likely that I would have because I'm using that as my camera as well.
I might actually get this done tonight. Let's see. Wow, I'm gonna get this done. That's great. That's cool. Oh, I want to see what Jeff's doing.
Did you make a new whale?
Oh yeah, I made a new whale. Yep, I did. It was very annoying, but because we were talking, I was able to do it.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad. It's always faster the second time around.
But I liked the first one better. But oh well, it's too bad, you know.
The
Doesn't
way it
matter,
goes.
huh?
You
The way
see
it
these?
goes sometimes.
I do like this thing.
I'm doing all these like detailed pieces. I'm like, oh, what a great dear. I'll do 7 paintings on one canvas.
What?
Really? You just paint over them, huh?
No. I'm just I'm saying like I'm doing this painting about all 7 or whatever hermetic principles, but that means I'm doing like basically 8 paintings on one painting.
Oh, that's right.
The smaller, like they're like smaller. I'm just like wondering, maybe I should have just did all these separate paintings, but I think it looks cool unified like this.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm gonna make this brain shape a heart too, for the care principle. So it's like a heart-shaped brain. Even though that's kind of weird, but I like it.
What?
It means your mind is in love, state of love, which is when you can make decisions that don't cause slavery. Because you can't, as part of a polarity, you know, if you're trying to manifest from a state of fear, then you're going to end up with chaos and more fear at the end. But if you manifest with starting from a place of love, you're always going to end up with you know, order at the end.
I guess that means that the ends just doesn't justify the means, does it?
Well, like it's like one analogy I came up for this would be like, let's say you're lost in the woods, right? And you're like starving on the brink of like survival, death or survival, and you come across like a campment of people. Like if you go in there in the state of fear, and you know, you might cause a fight or they might shoot you, or but if you go into that in like a state of love, then they're probably going to be accepting of you, and there's not going to be any altercation, and they're going to help you.
Right, exactly.
But you could easily be afraid, you know, that they're going to see you. And this is a common thing that happens to people sometimes when they're secluded or lost in the woods. They actually are afraid of the, you know, when they find humanity again, they're like afraid to like introduce themselves back in there, because they're like, I don't know what the psychology is behind that, but I mean, you might go in there and try to just steal some food, but if you do that, that might actually be worse, because then you'll like, they're gonna send their dogs after you, or like, you know, they're gonna react to that kind of behavior aggressively. But if you go in there with like open arms and you're like, hey, look, I'm lost, you know, help me. You're probably going to be met with open arms on the other side too. Unless it's like a war situation and you're, you know, on the wrong side of the fence going into the wrong camp, you know. Yeah, just kind of an interesting take on things. There.
Do you see that shape, that round shape?
Yes.
So
No, this is
Oh, nice.
so I folded up 3 of those today. So they're
oh, wow.
so
You made that?
I did.
Wow.
So they're 24 inches diameter. I got 3 of them, so they have the perforated on both sides, so it creates that moire pattern.
Yeah.
Looks
then-
like a honeycomb looking pattern.
Like a what?
From my perspective, it almost looks like a honeycomb pattern.
Yeah, but it totally changes in pattern as you circulate around it.
Oh,
Pretty cool.
neat.
Yeah. So that spins, you know, it's kind of like a weather vane. There's 3 of them. And then the one on the top is 26-inch diameter. So it's bigger and it doesn't have the perforated. It's solid. It doesn't spin. So we're getting there. I need the machinist to create the the bearings that go in the tube. So that's what it spins around, and he's been avoiding me.
What? Why?
Why? Because I think he has so much freaking work that he's just doing that. And he didn't respond to me for 2 days. I mean, he's never done that before. I think of him as a very reliable guy. And I think he's just overwhelmed with the amount of work. He was working at the Air Force Academy for only like 6 weeks. And it didn't pay much, but he said then he wouldn't have to take taxes out for all the other work he does, which is independent work. And he said I had to give him notice. I couldn't do my own work, and I make so much more money doing my own work than working for the government that he quit. So, I would never think of him as a government sort of worker bee. Anyways, just always been a kind of independent guy. He's from Golden, and he went to mines.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So smart guy. He dropped out. He had like his senior year, and he goes, he just quit. But he needs to come through pretty soon. I need his stuff
Yeah.
to finish. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, would be difficult to get all the equipment you would need to make those parts yourself.
Right. Well, my daughter's boyfriend, Eric, he has a 10-foot plasma cutter table.
Oh, wow.
So if you were to create something and you send it to him as a DWG file, he can just put it on in his software and just cut it out.
Wow.
So, any kind of crazy shapes, as long as it's 2-dimensional, he can do it.
That's pretty cool.
So you can use his stuff somehow if the other guy doesn't come through or not?
No, they do different things. They both deal with metal, but one's a machinist and deals with lathes. And the other one he's a welder and a fabricator, and he's a sculptor, and he's super busy too.
I think I would have a fit if I had to depend on other people for my work.
I usually don't, but it just made a lot more sense for him to cut the radiuses out than me. I could do it. I have a compass that I can put on my plasma torch, but it's super manual. You got to lay out each one, and
Right.
It's time consuming, and it can be just as accurate, because I asked for 24-inch diameter and I got 23 and 15/16. And I had already cut out this part, the outside. I'd already cut that out based on that diameter. So my pieces were too long, and I had to cut them all to fit. So I don't know if his machine is off a 16th of an inch, which is pretty bad. That's a pretty big tolerance.
Yeah, that would be harsh.
I would think more like a 64th would be acceptable. So he needs to calibrate his machine or something. But I was able to work around. It just took me a little pain to get them to come together properly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I do like the fact that I can just, send him a file on the internet, and he can just throw it in his machine and cut it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing. There's a guy down in Denver who makes amazing wrought iron and cut out stuff, but he's not awake, I don't think.
Really? Yeah. Probably
No,
not.
I doubt it. It's amazing
There
how
just
many
there
artists.
just aren't enough people that are awake. It's just but I do agree that there are probably more people waking up now than ever in our lives.
Well, I mean, it has to be enough. That's all. It just has to be that there's enough. just because we don't like how few there are. I don't really think it has to do with numbers. I think that's an illusion, honestly. Just
Perhaps, yeah.
I mean, it would be easy to think that it is to do with numbers, but if I was, I would be very upset. I was talking to this guy, who is a constitution. He's not a scholar, but he's a teacher of the Constitution, and he's convinced that it's a numbers thing, and he's really upset. And he won't even come talk to our tiny little groups because we don't have enough people. And I'm just like, well, you're lost, dude. I mean, how do you think we're going to get enough people?
Yeah.
You know, so I don't like this. So yeah, I don't think it is about numbers, honestly, even though it seems like it is about numbers.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with the quality rather than the quantity.
Right.
I mean, even the people, like I'm teaching that class, right? The PMA class. I'm
Uh-huh.
really the only one who's doing anything. I've told them they can all teach the class if they want, but none of them will do any work during the week.
In
So I'm like,
preparation.
yeah. So I'm like, fine, whatever. It's really for me. This is all for me. I'm doing this because I know that this works. Like if I will help you, I will receive the help I need. So that's my reasoning for help, trying to be helpful, but they're not actually really doing anything. And I'm not going to worry about it. Because look at Randy Kelton. He's the only one in Texas who filed that criminal complaint, and he got the masks rescinded.
Right.
So he's only one person. He said that he's like, I live in a place of 29 million people, and I'm the only one who did this. But see, I mean, so he said, like, if I could only get a few more people, but even though he didn't, it still did what it was supposed to do.
Uh-huh.
And it's inspiring.
Yeah, for sure.
But I can't, I mean, I can't count on other people doing what I think they should be doing at all. That's just never gonna, it's
Right.
never gonna work. It's just not gonna happen. So
Got my guy looking at a landscape. I'm gonna have the cutaway of his head where he's seeing the same landscape in his mind's eye inside for correspondence, the inner and the outer corresponding.
cool.
And then I need to do vibration, polarity still, but I will get to those.
So how many? 6?
7.
7.
There's 7 principles, and then there's an 8th hitting principle that we that called the care principle. And so I'm gonna have the mentalism. This is correspondence, and then I'll have polarity, or no, vibration, polarity, rhythm. What's the one after rhythm?
Traction?
Gender.
Oh,
Cause and
yeah.
effect.
Cause and effect and gender.
No, that's right.
Yeah, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. So yeah.
Jeff, is your wife awake?
Yeah, but she doesn't.
She doesn't what?
She doesn't study or research very much. She does a lot of Reddit shit, and they're not awake there. But she doesn't defend a shitty position, and she listens to me, but she won't talk to. She's got a couple of cousins that are wholly unawake. I mean, really unawake. I said you should drop some really small truth bombs on them. You know, I mean, start working on them. No, I'm not going to do that. And it's like, and they're just pure on Democrats. You know, they love. Well, I don't know if they love Biden, but they just defend that position from that side.
Right. They're in that schism.
Yeah, the standard issue. My daughter's awake. She researches in other modes, but you know, she totally believes in freedom. Not so sure about her boyfriend.
Uh-oh. Good luck with that.
No,
I was just curious. Huh?
He doesn't get argumentative or defend a weak position. He doesn't do that. But I just don't think he spends any time like we have, you know, researching things.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, it's really funny because like I remember my boyfriend asked me one time a long time ago, he said, why are you doing this work? Because he knows he's awake because he was in the military. So he said, why are you doing this? And I'm like, I really don't know, but I'm called to do it. So I have to follow it. And that was at the time. I really wasn't sure why I was doing it. I just had to do it. There was no choice. And now I'm like, thank God I followed that, because I'm the type of person that would, if I hadn't known what was going on, which is a lot of times I've lived like that because I can't stand it. I would have gotten the job probably if I didn't know what was going on.
I don't think I would have gotten it no matter what. I mean, you have to go back a long time in my history. In 6th grade, I may have told you this, but in 6th grade, they lined us all up in the gym, which wasn't a real big gym. And everybody, you know, they're kind of going around the hallway and out of the gym. Everybody's in a line. And I just dipped into the bathroom and I didn't get my shot. I got away with it. So that kind of creeped me out back then.
Yeah.
I hear you. No, I would have just gone along with what everybody else was doing because I wouldn't have wanted to be left out or something like that. And that's why I decided to go get into autonomy, because I was like, oh God, this is going to totally tweak me out to be like the only one in my community who isn't doing it. And so
how did you find autonomy?
Well, my friend Leah, who worked for Mark Passio, told me I had to do it because Mark Passio became a client. And and then I called her. Now she's my boss. I called her up. I would call her I hadn't met her in person, but I would call her every month and talk to her because I didn't have any friends here that were awake. I mean, yeah, they weren't awake. As we later discovered even more when they all got jabbed. See, that's what I mean. I had a bunch of friends here who, I have like 3 friends who are not jabbed here. besides Woody and of my old friends.
Wow.
And then Nick too, but Nick moved to Woodland Park, so I never see him anymore. And he was in autonomy.
Okay.
But like
Right.
deadheads, I hang out with deadheads, and I was appalled at how many deadheads got the job. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, Jerry is spinning in his grave. I mean, it's just crazy because we're all freedom lovers, you know?
Yes.
A lot of them are like rainbow people, and the rainbow is very into like the law thing.
Yeah.
And it just, I just couldn't believe like how many people are like, oh, well, I have to go to shows. I'm like, what?
No, I've heard that same bullshit argument.
I have to go to shows, man. I'm like, oh my God.
That's
Okay.
exactly it. Yep.
I'm like, wow.
Well, that's
God.
look at that, like how they hung that out there though. It's like
Carrot and stick.
powerful corporations that basically own these musicians and all the venues that they play in. They're like, oh, guess what? You have to have the shot if you want to come to our concerts. And then people are just like, oh, well, I'm getting it for sure. I'm not going to miss another concert series this summer, you know?
Oh, I know. I can't believe it.
Or I saw stuff too where they're like, oh, like if you show us your vaccine card, we'll give you a free beer at our brewery.
God
Oh,
damn it.
oh
Yeah.
gee, yeah,
Or
great,
it's-
great
Oh my
choice.
God.
Or it's
I
like,
know. Well, I know because
dude,
Phil,
if you get vaccinated, you're automatically entered to win $5 million.
and that doesn't creep people out. Like, what the fuck is going on? They don't even ask
Yeah,
the
exactly.
question.
That's
No
like
shit. Well,
you know, they're like coercing people into doing the thing.
Yeah, but
by
so
offering
then
them
Phil
stupid
Lush,
stuff
like
free beer.
one free beer. I'm sorry, that's not enough.
not enough.
Right?
Phil Lush of the Grateful Dead was playing in Lions last December, and he said he got up there on stage and he goes, "Get the vax." And I'm just
Oh,
like, well,
fuck.
that's it. I'm done. I'm like, I'm never going to see you again, ever in life. That was it. I used to love you, but now you're an asshole and you're going to die. You're dead, actually. You're spiritually dead. So I'll have to find some other way to get my fix than that way. I mean, it's just, I just was like, nope, we're done. We're through.
I guess I'm listening to Orzek Tentacles from now on.
What? Orzek Tentacles?
Have you heard of that band? It's like a psychedelic rock band.
No,
It's been around for a long time.
no.
Orzek
You'll
what?
You'll have to turn me on to that. Orzek
I don't know.
Tentacles.
I'd have to look up how you say their name, but
Yeah, it was trippy. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the hell? This is so insane. I can't even believe this.
Well, yeah. Dead Kennedys. Jello Biafra. He got the shot.
Oh my God.
No kidding.
Punk rock.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Right?
Yeah. Fuck.
Well, yeah. What? Or at least that's what they said.
Yeah, that's true. That's what they said. Yeah.
But they let them say that. They allowed them to say it. That's the thing that's really fucked up. You know, the Dead Kennedys allowed themselves to be sold out like that. It's insane. I know.
Nothing is sacred.
No, it's incredible. I mean, like, there was this great band, J-Rad, which was a Grateful Dead cover band that we totally loved that band, and they're all jabbed. I'm just like, well, you guys are lost in space, and I don't want to hear anything you have to say or sing anymore. You're just done. Your vibe will just make me sick to my stomach. So
This guy who's on the board for that Keating middle school project with me, he got the jab. Well, he got 2 jabs and he got boosted, and he got COVID really bad. And he said he was sick. I mean, really sick for 2.5 weeks.
uh-huh.
He felt terrible.
because you
Couldn't
have
get-
no immune system anymore and you have put
Right.
a bunch of other shit in your system. So oh,
Couldn't get
well,
out of
I don't know what to
bed.
tell you.
Yeah.
Don't know what to tell you there, guy.
Yeah.
Rock on. What the hell, man?
The hell.
I know. What
Yeah,
the hell?
I mean, I don't know this for sure, but when I allegedly think I had it, my wife had it way worse than me, and she has had the
She had the shot.
poke. Yeah, she had the
Oh, the
shot.
poke. Now we're calling it the poke.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, see?
I tried really hard to talk her out of it, but she just felt so peer pressured by her
Exactly.
because she's a teacher and stuff, and so which is kind of bad. But luckily,
Yeah.
she hasn't done any of the boosters. So, and she's like, I am not doing any of those.
Oh, that's cool.
She's
Good.
seen through it now. She's like,
Oh, she sees through it now. That's good. Wow,
Mhm.
that's good. That's good, Woody. That's good, you guys. That's hope. Hope for you guys. Because I would think it would be very, very hard to live with that.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, very hard.
Yeah. My
I've seen people
wife
get
and my
divorced.
daughter were never going to get shot. They were never had any interest in it. So,
I mean, I could just see that people would get divorced over that eventually. I've actually seen there's a guy
Wow.
that, huh?
for sure.
They do. And people get divorced over spiritual disagreements too.
Exactly, right. I mean, this is pretty much one of those things.
It has caused tension in our relationship before, I'm not going to lie, but I've always figured out a way to make it work still, whether that's just tone it down on my rhetoric or, just, there's ways that I've been able to slowly drip things versus just coming out bah with everything at once. And then the slow drip seems to work better. I get more response from that than the just puking on people. Especially with my wife, I can plant seeds with her and then she'll be receptive of those seeds. I have to be patient though.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Just
part of her thing is I'm always thinking so worldly. I'm thinking about all these worldly things and how we have to have more freedom and all this worldly stuff. But she's just thinking immediate, our family kind of thing. I'm just concentrating on making sure our family is in order and, everything's taken care of on that front.
Mhm.
Which I get, that's her motherly, kind of tendency. There's nothing wrong with that necessarily.
Right.
But I have to take that as into consideration when I'm bringing up certain things to her that, she might not be receptive to this because it's too big picture of a concept. And she's just really wants to concentrate on our family. And then when I bring it down to the family level, then she understands it better. I'm like, well, we have to do this within our family too. If we starting point is in my family and my family understanding the principles of objective morality, because if they understand that and we're honest with each other, then and transparent, then we're going to get along with each other. And that's going to be an example to the world, oh, well, look at this family that's gets along with each other, or whatever that might be. But then you can translate that if you got it locked down in your family life, then you can translate that into the bigger picture kind of scenarios because you're you already have an example or a template of how it's working within your family dynamic, and then you can take that into the larger world.
Right.
So I'm gonna go check on my people.
All right, go check.
I think they're all gone, but I am not positive. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Time is now 7:12. Wow, we're cruising through this night. It's weird. I keep getting this like low frequency, like boom. Are you hearing that too?
Uh-uh.
Every like few minutes or something. I don't know if it's what it is, but I hear this like boom.
Really?
It must be, maybe it's in Jeff's studio. Who knows what's going on? But
Huh.
I'm glad you're not hearing it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not hearing it. No, definitely not hearing it.
Like earlier, my mother-in-law kept trying to call me about some nonsense, and like I'm like, look,
Really?
kept like knocking
She was
me
knocking you
off.
off? Really?
Yeah, like when we first started, I got knocked off. I was like, man. I've been helping out. My father-in-law just had a pretty gnarly back surgery, and so they have cows, so I've been helping feed the cows.
Oh my God, they have cows.
Mhm.
Well, that's
Yeah.
better. I like that better.
Like they have cows that they slaughter. I don't really
Oh, wow.
agree with it, but
Well, I mean, yep. I know. Well, I don't know what to say about that. Whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I've been trying to become vegetarian, but it hasn't been going very good the last few, like month or so. And I've been swaying from my diet more than I used to. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about any of that stuff because I mean, I'm eating fish now only, not chicken anymore right now, but fish.
Like, I mean, I go good for like a couple weeks, and then like I'll just like have like a burger or something, or I'll go like a long time, and then I'll have like like some sausage or something.
Is it a flavor thing?
I don't I like pretty much love the way like sausages taste. Yeah, I think it is a flavor thing. I just like the way like sausage tastes in certain meats.
And how do you
There's certain
feel
meats I don't
afterward,
like.
after you eat it? Do you feel good?
I don't really feel any different, but I feel
Uh-huh.
satisfied that I fulfilled that craving, you know?
Yeah, just curious. I'm just curious because I mean, I feel the same way. Like, I mean, that year that I was vegan, I was totally satisfied until one day, I just started to have it. So I don't really know what to make of that, I put
Right.
it off for a while and then I just couldn't, it didn't go away. So I don't know what to make of all that, honestly, at the moment. I mean,
Yeah, I
I
don't
feel,
know. Like, because I know some vegetarians, they'll be like, "Oh, like meat makes me feel sick when I eat it." But I
yeah,
went
no.
like 6 months where I ate zero meat,
Well, what's your blood
and
type?
then I ate. I think I'm like, I can't remember if I'm A positive or negative.
Oh, okay.
I'm A something,
Okay.
positive or negative. I can't remember. And then my wife is the opposite. So
Yeah.
she's A, and
Yeah.
she's a. I can't remember if it's hit positive or negative. But
Yeah.
yeah, so isn't it the negative or the positive blood or something?
No, the RH negative. I'm the RH negative one. So that's O negative. I'm O negative. So they're like the O negative people are the newest blood and they don't know where we came from thing. And I just think of it like that it has to do with whatever they did to us, that they put in this. I think we were originally herbivores and because our teeth, but they did something to us and made us carnivores or omnivores or something. And I mean, listening to Andy and stuff and the other people that I've followed who eat only fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is our natural diet, but I just feel like those of us who have these different blood types have a need for certain meat. That's the only thing I
Possible,
can,
yeah, I don't know.
I can only, this is the only thing I can,
The other thing is too, is just like there's been such a long generational cycle of meat eaters that, you know, if you come from a long generation of meat eaters, it's going to be harder to like break that cycle, I feel like.
well, yeah, for me though, I mean, I definitely feel better when I eat meat now, but I just don't know why I didn't like it then. And now it's just weird to me. I don't get it. It's just-
Yeah, it's weird. I agree. I don't know that I feel necessarily any different when I eat it. It's like, it's weird. Like, it's like you think I would, but I don't, you know. It's like when I went like that 6 months without eating meat and then I had a burger, I thought I was going to get all sick, but I was fine.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like nothing, there's like no sickness at all. I just felt like my mouth felt greasy for like an hour afterwards, which I wasn't used to because that doesn't happen with vegetarian stuff.
Okay, so they're not in there now, huh? Okay. Well, I'm pretty much done with this one. I'm gonna put it in the file and I might be done with all the ones I need to do.
Nice.
I'm not sure. So export as,
That's awesome.
oh no, there is one more I need to do. I have to do the right to worship because I didn't finish that one in.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I had a craving for like a Philly cheesesteak. Like it's like right after I had to go to this gnarly like console with after my dad died with the like what do you call that, the cemetery or whatever it's called, the memorial place or whatever. And like after that, for some reason, I just like wanted a Philly cheesesteak really bad. So I went to this place and like ordered a Philly cheesesteak and it was fucking disgusting.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was just I don't think it was, so it didn't satisfy my craving at all because the place they just did a bad job of making a Philly cheesesteak. You know, like it was like some of the meat was a little bit raw, which grossed me out.
Ew.
And like, yeah, it was just like, it just wasn't good. And so I was like, so I didn't get my craving satisfied. But then like about a week or two ago, we went to this place and they had a Philly cheesesteak made with Beyond meat.
Oh, I bet that was good, huh?
And I ate it. And it was
Yummy.
like, it satisfied my Philly cheesesteak craving, and it was a vegetarian thing still.
So it was okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh yeah, no, I've had the Beyond Meat.
I mean, if
The
you eat
Impossible
the
Burger.
meat by itself and that's all you're eating, it does not taste that good. But if you have all the fixings are there,
Right,
then
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
like if you have like if you're doing a burger and you have like, you know, the mustard and the pickle and the tomato and all, you know, the lettuce and all the stuff, then it tastes good. But if you just have a Beyond patty in between,
No, it tastes weird. It definitely tastes weird.
it
Yep.
tastes weird. Yeah.
Soylent Green. Yeah.
No, not Soylent Green. No.
Same with the like crumble, like the Beyond crumble or the Impossible burger. It's the same. If you don't
Oh
have
yeah.
the condiments and the toppings on it, then it doesn't taste right.
Well, hopefully this will look good when I print it. I have to let go of it because it might not look that great, but hopefully it will.
Well, then if you can always embellish it, if you
Oh,
need-
I'm gonna do stuff to it, but
that's always the fun part is when you can embellish it,
yeah, I will.
print out something and then change it, embellish it. I did this digital painting of like, number of years ago, these people were getting married on a sailboat, and our daughter was so young that we couldn't like go on the boat because there's not life vests small enough or something. So like we had to watch the wedding on the boat from the pier in San Francisco. But I got some really cool pictures from that perspective, because we're looking at the boat from the pier, and I did a digital painting of that. And then I printed it out on canvas, and then I went back over it with oil paint. It turned out really cool. And I gave it to the people that got married or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, I probably will do the same thing.
So now I've got my correspondence.
Well, that's it.
Oh, well,
Oh, let me look. I'll have to check, see what you guys are doing.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, that looks great. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
uh-huh.
So what else is that what you worked on tonight? Oh my God, that tiny little painting you just spent all that time on? Oh my Lord. Dude.
Well, I spent some time like reading passages and looking up some reference photos and stuff too. So I didn't.
Did it
don't know.
always have the ring around the brain tonight? Or did you do that today?
No, that's always been there.
Okay.
So what it is
I didn't
like,
see it close up, so I guess I didn't see it.
I'll go close up to that. It was the ring, and there's another. There's a smaller.
You're muted somehow, or you can't
Yeah.
really hear you. You're muffled.
Oh,
There
is
you
that
go.
better?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I must have just been covering up the microphone with my
Yeah.
finger.
that's good now.
So the ring around the brain, there's actually another smaller brain
Yep, we see it.
that's orbiting around the larger brain.
Wow, dude.
I've always liked that depiction of mentalism because it's kind of like implying that the whole universe and cosmos is all mental. And so,
You know what
and then
I
it kind of goes out, and this exterior of my 6 circles or 7 circles rather is a brain too. But I'm thinking about making it a heart-shaped brain, just to represent that care and love aspect.
Mhm.
Or maybe I'll just draw a bunch of little hearts inside this brain, and that would be kind of like all these principles are housed within the care.
It's interesting because it's interesting that the care principle came later. I mean, I think that was something Passio came up with, don't you think?
I think I never heard it before. I heard it from him.
But see, what's weird about that to me is that it wasn't needed before. It seems like.
I think what he's kind of the reason why he did that is because there's a polarity there too.
Oh, I agree. I agree what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying
you can use these hermetic principles and the axiom and all that as like for
Satanism.
evil.
Yes,
and
I know,
and
but
not
that's
caring. You can
I
use this
know.
totally in the opposite direction. But he's trying to teach that these are to use, and you should care about
I understand what you're
use of
saying.
these.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying is that
Yeah.
at that time and up to this point, it hasn't been needed, but now we're at this point where it's needed to
Or maybe it
actually
always
care.
has, maybe it was needed, it just was occulted at a certain point because they wanted to have the confusion, so people would maybe use this as for bad, or maybe they wanted to give these principles a bad name so people wouldn't look into them too, because if you're like this, like, staunch, Christian or something, and then all of a sudden someone's trying to tell you about these hermetic principles, you might, totally reject that because you've heard that they were satanic or something.
Because they're hermetic. They're not
Yeah.
Christian.
Like, what is this hermetic thing? Well, hermetically sealed, their secret. They've been occulted. Just like parts of your actual Christian religion have been occulted and hidden from you too.
Sure.
Yep. Yep, Rooney. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. But I mean,
Sometimes it's harder to paint snow small. That's why these things are kind of taking a long time to paint.
oh yeah,
'cause
man, I can't believe you're painting that small. My hand shakes.
my hand shakes sometimes too, but I just work with the shake somehow.
Well,
Train myself to do that.
oh, what did I just do?
Do you have a brace that you can,
I can brace myself. Sometimes I just use my other hand or like the edge of my easel, or I need to get one of those like sticks that you can kind of
Yeah.
like lean up and you can
Yeah.
brace.
yeah, you need a shtick.
A shtick.
Yeah, you gotta work on your shtick.
Yeah. Sometimes like I can just get around that too by using my left hand, 'cause sometimes I'm shaker if I'm trying to do something on the left side, with my right hand. And so if I go with the left, then it works out.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I have to see something here.
Where's the whale?
Oh, the whale is right there.
Is that on the right? Okay. He's breaching, huh?
I don't know. Is that what that's called?
Yeah, when it leaves the water, it's breaching. Yeah.
Yeah, here he is right here.
Oh, okay. That's not breaching.
No,
I didn't see him.
He's just
Okay.
shooting some,
Uh-huh.
and his tail's not up either.
No, I got it though. Okay. That guy,
Oh, you got the fish coming out?
the fish. Yeah.
The fish.
I think your camera got bumped. We're seeing more of your tower than your monitor.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yep. Yep. Go to your.
Let me look and see.
There you go. Yeah.
That's better. That happens, Oh, we had like one of the first ones of these we did, like my phone, something happened to my phone and I lost my video feed for like 30 minutes before I noticed it was gone. That's always
Yeah,
fun.
I've got to go find I have to look inside the
Did you have any more visiting artistes besides that couple? That was weeks ago.
Oh, no. Actually, Andy's daughter showed up a few weeks ago.
Okay.
That was neat.
Oh yeah, we had
She was like 11 or something.
Oh, wow.
yeah, she was really
had to-
cool. She was fun.
I had to not cuss.
That was a good one though. We like didn't break off into as many tangents. We stayed a little more focused, and she was a really sweet girl. And she was doing some cool stuff too. She was making these. She's filling these like little things with different colors of sand, but she was doing like the earth, air, water, fire theme with her
Huh.
colors in them. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And she, I guess, she was talking it up a bunch, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see her again
Great.
at a later date. I've been trying to get one of my friends, he's my roommate from when I lived in New York City. I've been trying to get him to come on. He's still out there in New York.
Ew.
If you can
Yeah.
imagine the
Oh
horror.
God, I can't. Oh my God, no.
Can you imagine? No, I can't. It's got to be so bad.
No, thank you.
So yeah, I've been trying to get him on. He's pretty receptive to all this information.
I can't even imagine. I mean, I has to live there,
I don't know that he's fully awake, but he's
Yeah.
pretty far along. Like, and he's open-minded enough that you can have a philosophical conversation with him without him, getting into cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, my friend Matt Taylor, his art name is Matt Reffick. But we had he's fully awake, and I thought I had him, I don't know, 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, that he was going to do it, and I sent him the link, and then I saw we had a meeting today with Shannon Palmer, who does my marketing, and she's an artist. But we
Oh,
were
yeah, Shannon.
talking. Pardon?
Yeah, we know Shannon, don't we?
Yeah. So we're going to paint the front of the building in some kind of truth directed way.
Uh-huh.
And we were just talking very wide generalities at first, but it was just a really good conversation, because I've had these conversations with Matt before, but never with Shannon. And
Oh, wow.
she's pretty awake. I mean, she's not as obsessed as we are, but she's receptive for sure. And she was raised Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she talks about that in not such a good way.
No, I'm
And
sure.
I think her mother was murdered.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, exactly.
That's gotta be a tough
Super,
thing to go
yeah,
through.
super traumatic. And then she left her family, and then she's sleeping in a car for a while in the Springs. And yeah.
Wow.
But she's come a really long way, and she's really, really working on her art. And she's on her
Great.
third mural on the levee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, totally. So there's a summer solstice day, we'll call it a day, on the levee or on the river, which is the 18th, which is not really the official date of the solstice, but it's a couple days before, but it's a Saturday. So that's why we're having it. So we got like 7 bands and 50 vendors, 4 food trucks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it'd be
When's that gonna be?
the 18th of June.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, coming up. So it should be a good day. We did a winter solstice, and we threw it together 3 weeks before, and we had like 250 people in the winter.
Wow.
And then people made these lanterns, and some people had costumes on, and it was we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a lantern parade, after dark.
Nice.
So it should be pretty cool, because Pueblo, has the Chili Fest and the State Fair, which are both kind of shitty operations, if you ask me. So this is more of a conscious sort of thing. So it should be a good day. Come on down. It's free.
Oh, I know. I wish it was easy to come on down, and we would, but man, 3 hours.
Yeah,
Or something.
2 hours. Yeah. And the price of fuel and all of that.
Oh my God.
God, the ramifications of that, man, we have not seen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, last year when I went to Pork Fest, it only cost me like $900 for round trip, but basically to
Mhm.
take my RAV4, But I mean,
Yeah.
my friend in Sierra Vista, Arizona, invited me to come visit, and I'm like, it would cost me like $1,000 just to go there. Maybe even one way. I'm not even sure. So I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I can't do it. I'm not doing that. And plus $1,000 in fuel, and then the money I would lose from not working. Forget it. No, it's not happening. I mean, I
Yep.
guess I could take some other form of transportation, but what?
The
A
dog,
train?
the dog,
The dog?
the Greyhound.
Oh yeah, no thanks.
We always
Can
called
you
it the
imagine
dog,
how much that costs now because of fuel?
everything. Oh, and then the whole, the global warming.
Oh, plus
fear
they'd probably make you wear a diaper on your face for the whole time. Oh my God. Buses are horrible.
Oh, they are horrible. They're the worst.
It's the
the-
worst. It's
they're the
truly the worst. Yeah, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
No, I mean, in the past, I might even consider it, but like just with these kind of the crazy shit that's going on right now, I would never want to be on a bus with all these fucking sleeping people. That would piss me off so bad.
So when do you want to have all our artwork to hang for the show?
Oh, so that's one of the things that I want to put out to the artists, in an email.
Right.
Um,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put it out to us right now. Do you know?
I believe it is the 27th is a Monday. So I want everything before that, on or before the 27th, which is a Monday, before the 1st. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Good.
Yep, I got a lot of work to do, boy.
Oh, and then I just remembered that I'm going to be out of town at the end of July.
Yeah.
Could I pick my artwork up a little bit after, like in August, or would you want me to come before I leave town?
For you, it's okay.
Huh.
Yeah, we're special.
Yeah. You guys are insiders. You guys are in it.
We're on the
from the
inside.
very fucking beginning.
So yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should probably stay over down there that night.
I'm planning
Yeah.
on getting a hotel room that night.
You got any
Yeah,
suggestions?
there's a bunch of people doing that. So the closest, most affordable, I think it's called the Santa Fe Suites. And baby, they're sweet. No, I don't know how. I stayed in that place every time I came here when I was looking for property. And it's pretty close. I mean,
Nice.
in a pinch, you could walk there, but it'd probably take about 20 minutes. But it's not far. It's probably, I don't know, mile and a half max.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
just right up Santa Fe. It's right on that block. You just go straight right there. So it's real convenient. I think there's a on or off ramp there in the vicinity. So
I'll check those out, the Santa Fe Suites.
yeah, I think it's the Santa Fe Inn, I think. Or maybe it's the Santa Fe Inn and Suites.
Okay, yeah. One of those kind of deals, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll check that out because my wife was
Yeah,
asking.
and I also said if you want, you can camp across the street in my lot.
Oh, I can camp in my car. Oh, that would be.
You can camp.
I might do that.
You can camp in your car, sure. Save the money.
I might
that's
do
fine.
that.
Yeah.
I'll see. I'm not
No worries.
broke right now. I'm not broke.
Okay.
I
But
could probably do the Santa Fe Suites, but it's going to depend on whether my boyfriend
Right.
comes down or not.
okay. But that's open, and haven't quite figured out, like, if you wanted to stay in my place, you could probably throw something down in my
No,
studio.
that's fine. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
We have two
I'll have
bathrooms. I got a
my
shower.
wife and kids
Yeah.
will probably come, and
Yeah.
they won't want to stay for the whole show, so they'll go back.
Right,
to the
and there's a
hotel.
swimming pool
And
at,
then-
at that place too.
Oh yeah, so they'll love that, and then I'll
Yeah.
just that way I can stay at the show for longer and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, for
So-
sure. We'll make a good night of it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to get some musical entertainment. Haven't really put it out to the world yet, but I think there'll probably be no problem in getting some, but it needs to be proper, fitting the truth.
For sure. Yeah.
And I'm sure neither one of us know that many people that do truth music.
No, only Jordan, Jordan, what's his name?
Page.
Yeah, Jordan Page, but where
Yeah.
where the hell is he?
Where the hell is he? I don't know.
He's good, but I think he's East Coast. I may be wrong, but I don't know.
I know he played in Chicago with Gary, the Next Network guy. He goes way back to Aaron Russo days. You know Aaron Russo?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he goes way back to him. And Aaron Russo tapped him. He knew he was dying of cancer. He said, you're the guy, carry on the legacy. And I think he gave him some money too. But he's from Illinois. And Jordan Page played in his basement. I mean, this was a long time ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I just don't know where he lives now. I mean, he was at
Yeah.
Park Fest,
Yeah.
so I have no
I've seen
idea.
him perform there online, I think.
Right.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's any bands in Colorado that, usually Colorado produces amazing music, but
Does.
are
Yeah.
they all like sold out?
Well, so my friend Mike Clark, River Arkansas and Sugar Sounds, he's not sold out. He's really awake. He just says it, everything is fucking fake. It's not real. And so he's as awake as he will probably ever be, but he doesn't believe in. His band members are also very awake. Never did the masks, didn't get the shot, so. But he doesn't do truth music specifically. There's very few people that actually write lyrics, about what we talk about.
I'd like to start doing that, but I've been concentrating on more of my art side of things.
Sure.
So I do like doing music, but that's,
Yeah.
Really. I
I'm
would
gonna
like to
take a
pursue
minute.
that more.
I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to step off for a second.
No
Okay.
worries.
We be here.
I'm working on my vibration part of this now. I'm just making all these different colors
Oh yeah.
and vibrating pattern, and then I'm going to do like a black background.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
I've been doing it's weird. I love mixing colors. And so I don't like to buy there's a lot of people that just paint with the tubes of paint color.
Yeah, sure.
And I like mixing. So I was on a huge kick where I was just using yellow, blue, and red. But I was having trouble getting vibrant oranges when I was doing that. And so I figured out that actually it's better to use CMYK, yellow, magenta paint, and a cyan blue, because you can get more vibrant colors that way. And
Yes.
I was thinking that maybe that in some ways it's weird because they don't teach you that in art school. They just teach you the other way.
Color wheel.
Yeah, I feel like it's been kind of occulted, the CMYK color mixing, and that's how light mixes with CMYK and the rainbow and everything.
Yes.
So I think it's kind of been occulted, and that the real way to color mix and use paint is the CMYK. And I don't know, which is basically still the yellow, red, and blue, because cyan is a blue, magenta is a type of red, and you're still using the yellow and the black, and so, but I don't know.
But I agree that you can't get some of those real how do they call it? These really super vibrant greens.
And
They're not
neon colors.
Yeah, they're neon. They're not fluorescent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you could ever get that from just RGB.
I feel like with using the magenta. There's something about the magenta, magical about the magenta that
Uh-huh.
makes it easier to make those more vibrant colors. Is what I figured out.
Yeah. Huh.
And I just like mixing colors, coming up with my own color, you know.
Can you get right back to it if you run out?
I can, yeah.
That was the thing that always concerned me.
It because I remember how I did it, but I also it's kind of a process too. Like if I'm not fully all the way back, then it's just a matter of adding a little bit more of, maybe it's a little more white or maybe it's a little more blue or whatever that might be
Yeah.
to get back there. I try to just mix enough color that I need, but that almost never happens. So, and if it does happen, I end up with way too much of it usually.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So I just had a moment of horror because I think I accidentally like replaced my Truth Show folder on my backup hard drive.
Uh-oh.
Well, the thing was, I mean, I thought I lost all of my previous work,
Oh,
but it was on my other computer. I had to go check. I was having like a moment
good.
of like horror. I was
Oh,
like,
I'm glad
I
you
didn't want to,
found that.
I didn't want to say anything. I was like, I don't want to say anything.
But I got to find out.
I got
Right.
to find out right the fuck now.
Right.
I mean, I actually posted everything on this one blog, so I could just swipe it down, but I just don't have any of the high quality images of all the drawings and everything that preceded
Right.
all this work and everything. And I was just like, what? And I have one more piece I have to do, and I want to use the drawing I did for the basis of it. And I'm just like, oh my God, really?
Sometimes when
But
you
I had
like
to check.
pull it back down off of like a blog post too, it's like the blog post like dumbs down the image, and so it's
Yes, I
not
know.
as,
That's what I mean.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant by, yeah, it
Oh,
won't be the same resolution.
right. Oh yeah.
No, I mean, I have like the whole progression of the whole show, like in folders, and it's on my other computer, but I must have accidentally replaced it. Like I must have because it's not backed up. I'm like, oh my God, this was going to be really a sad situation.
Well, I'm glad it's not.
It's not.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's-
woohoo!
It's good.
Yay!
Happy ending.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the digital world, you know. Now
Yeah.
you got it. Now it's gone. But
No,
yeah, I
yeah,
didn't.
no.
I was gonna piss me off. Oh my God. So I think what I'll do is I'll have this folder be called the Digital Truth Show, and then the other one I'll just change the name of this folder so it won't get replaced again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Boy.
I know I do weird stuff. Like I'll have like if it's on my laptop, I have like a abbreviation, you know, so I know that the folder's for the laptop, and then the one on my external hard drive has a different abbreviation, you know, so I know that it's the hard drive one.
Right. No, I must have just done it by accident.
Initials or something like that. Like, oh, this has a P in front of it. That means it's my phone folder, or it has a, you know, whatever lettering or whatever I catalog that, so I don't accidentally overwrite something I'm not supposed to.
Right. No, I know. Usually I'm better at this. I mean, because I've done stupid
Right.
things. That's how I learn.
Oh man. All
So
the time.
I have
Every
lost
day.
a lesson. Oh yeah, every
What do you
day.
guys think of this?
Let me see.
Oh, that's cool.
What is that? Does it move around? Is it a drill? Wow, that's really neat. When did you make this?
I haven't welded it together, but I think I'm just gonna weld it just like that.
Oh, neat. Is it like a lamp or is it just,
You know, I don't know what it's gonna be. I think it might just be a sculpture.
I know
But
that's fucked up that I said that, but
is it a
sorry.
lamp? Is it a lamp?
It could be a lamp.
But here's something else. So this
I'm
is for
sorry.
a invitational fundraiser. So
Oh, that's
and it's
cool.
called The Dig. So all the
That's
artists
neat.
got shovels. So there's my
Wow.
shovel. I don't think it's done yet. I have opportunities to do other things like carve the handle, and I can paint it. And then I've got some grinding to do on my welds that are not the
That's
best.
so cool, man.
Yeah, it's a little fractal thing.
I like it.
Yeah, I showed you the washers,
What's that?
right?
Where's
Last
that
time.
gonna be? The what?
These-
Oh, no.
These guys, this
Oh, that's
washers.
neat. That's
This is the
neat.
Pentagon, and it's
Yeah,
made out.
yeah, with that.
I welded these in packs of 6, right? So it's an equilateral triangle. And then from that, you can get all kinds of shapes. You can get pyramids, you can get 3-sided pyramids, 4-sided pyramids,
You can get the
yeah.
Merkaba.
6 sides are very fungible. So you can attach these different shapes through 6-sided fractals.
Neat.
And
What are
I,
you gonna-
well, I don't know. I want it to be a lot bigger. And so I went out and I got another sack of washers, walk in the yard, but I can't find any more. So I only have I don't know, probably 120 or something. Which isn't that many,
Right.
maybe 150. I wish I could get more. So I don't know where to get them, but I need them.
This was where did you find them?
In the Union Pacific tracks, there's a yard,
Oh,
like
neat.
a block from me. Yeah, I just walk the yard a lot and get just, random stuff. Well, I finished.
That would be great.
this,
I would love that.
the
That's
anarchy
neat.
symbol. Yeah, that's done.
That's
I
neat.
got to figure a way to mount it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool that you
I
do
think-
metal sculpture.
Yeah, I've done it. Oh, this is the rabbit hole here.
Oh, the rabbit hole. That's a great idea. Let me see inside.
Oh, nice.
That's the rabbit hole.
That's awesome.
That's a great pun or visual pun.
Yeah, I think there'll be, I'll put that in the show.
Yes.
What are
Probably
you gonna
won't
put inside the rabbit hole?
I don't know what I really wanted to do. So it's really, really strange or synchronistic. So I made this, I kind of shaped the rabbit ears. So they do have some shape to them. They're kind of rounded on the back. And then when I got my metal roller, I just rolled this shape, that's just, it's based on pi, so whatever the diameter is, it's times pi, and then that gives you the shape. So if it's a 24-inch diameter, just go pi, and then that gives you what to cut that piece to. But I did this, and it had nothing to do with the base, but they fit perfectly. So I was just going to do a weld and kind of paint it kind of nicely. I think I'll just paint this black, but then I'll paint the ears to look, like real ears.
Right.
That'd be cool. The thing about though the rabbit hole is that it should be deeper, don't you think? Or
I totally
have a-
agree. But I already cut this. And if you look at the ears, they're further out. And so they can't go in there. I totally agree with you, 100%.
Well, I mean, maybe you could make a hole in the bottom and
I'll make,
have them
well,
go.
I could make another one and just make this round piece bigger.
Or maybe just putting something inside the hole, like when you open
Right.
it up.
I mean, I could
Something
hinge it,
inside
right?
there.
So it just rolls back.
Yeah, and then when you look inside, maybe there's something that like implies like,
Or it could have no bottom. That's the other thing it could be. The rabbit
Mhm.
hole never
Right.
ends.
Right.
Or
But I absolutely 100% agree. And if I I could redesign it. I'll finish this one, but make another one and just
Yeah.
a bigger diameter so that
Yeah.
the ears fit down, and then just the ears just kind of poke out if if you're down it with
Right.
that plane, they just poke out. So
Yeah. Or have some other visual pun inside so that it,
Yeah, or you could just put like a image of a syringe in there or something.
or a mirror at the
All right.
bottom.
I thought of
Put a
that
mirror
too.
in
Like
the
you could have a
bottom.
mirror on the
Oh,
bottom.
mirror's good. I
Then,
like
then
that.
you wouldn't have to make it, you wouldn't have
I
to make
like
another one.
mirrors,
If you put a mirror
for
at the
sure.
bottom, that would
Paint
definitely
everything
be,
black except for the mirror. And
yeah,
then,
that would be good.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
good. That would be a
and then it
good,
just kind of has a cool little hinge to it. And
You can maybe put a mirror at the bottom and on the underneath part of the ears where it folds up. And then so if you opened it like a little bit and you put your hand in there, you would see your hand like do that infinite mirror thing.
that would be cool. So do
yeah,
you
how
see
would
this?
you do that? Yeah, you told us about that one.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, you
But
just
did
need
it have
two.
it had the
One on
syringes?
I
rim,
like
one
it,
on
though. Oh, it didn't have the syringe on it then.
Yeah,
that time, though.
I
That's
added the
neat.
syringes, so that's what holds it up.
That's really cool.
I finished it.
I made an infinite timepiece like that in college, where I took a clock, I drilled a hole in the middle of a mirror, and I put clock hands on there, and then I made like this box thing, and I had like 2 angled mirrors, and so when you looked at the clock, it looked like infinite time.
Oh, that would be good.
know,
See, that would
It was
totally
like
work.
reflected.
Yeah,
in
then
my-
that
Yeah.
would be even better. That it would be short. It would actually be short. It would look like it was long, but it was actually be a short. So then it would work, and you wouldn't have to make another one.
And I actually won a gold medal at my art school for that piece, in the sculpture for the sculpture department.
And of the illusion part of it, that would be cool.
Which I hated
That's
I hated that piece, but somehow I guess my teachers liked it, so they gave me a gold medal for it.
How old were you?
I was I don't know, like, let's see here, probably like 20 maybe, or when I did that piece, maybe 19.
Okay, cool. So then you went forward. I'm going to be an artist.
Oh, probably he was
Do you,
already.
do you
an
see
artist by
this?
then.
Well, I
You
was
see
already
this
an
thing?
artist.
What's going on?
Yeah, that's really neat. I really like it.
I mean,
It's very cool.
I mean, how it just.
Can't really see it with the
Oh, you
camera.
can't see it?
Not really.
It's kind of trippy.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's an awesome effect.
I like stuff
No,
like that.
You got a lot of stuff. Is this all going to be in the truth show?
No, well, that's part of that sculpture. That's a commission.
Oh, neat.
Those round pieces. So
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah,
Yeah, but
you're a neat artist. Your studio is neat. Pretty neat, huh?
what? Come on.
That's pretty neat. Well, I mean,
Uh,
the floor is not covered with shit
yeah,
like
look
mine.
at this shit here, though. Well, so my daughter cleaned it up
Oh,
quite a
okay.
bit.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
No, I'm a total
But
slob artist.
It's still kind of.
But I always find everything I need. That's the thing that's weird about it. Within a few minutes, I always find everything. But it's really bad now. My studio is really, I got to get rid of all that cardboard. It's just too much cardboard.
Yeah,
I have to just toss it all.
clear the.
Oh, it's
you
8.
Clear the mind.
Yep. It's time, and I'm really hungry. So I'm going to jump.
Yeah, it's time. Okay.
8 o'clock. All right. Well, it's great speaking with you guys. We'll look
Yeah.
forward to meeting up again next week. Or actually, next week I'm out of town, so
Okay. Well,
Are we
that
gonna
might be
do
a
it?
hiatus.
We're not
Might
sure
be a
yet.
hiatus week because I think I'm going to be in the airport during this
Okay.
time.
All right. Sounds good.
yeah, we could. And whatever.
We might have to be on hiatus for next week, but I'll be back for the
Okay.
following week.
All right. And if you have any ideas for
I will.
how to promote truth in any way, let me know.
Sounds good.
All right. Sounds good. Take it easy.
Okay.
Bye.
Enjoy.